So I want to welcome everyone. So our regular FunC sessions. Very happy that you guys are joining. Bring your friends. Ask those who also struggle. And let's maybe begin. So our main format is like we just ask questions. We talk about whatever is not clear in the understanding of writing contracts or creating projects on TON. And I'm here basically to help you understand those things. So maybe we start with Raphael. Raphael had some questions on NFTs. He's writing some projects that is involved in NFTs, and maybe Raphael, you can present your question. What's the issue?
Okay, so basically, I wanted to know if the NFTs were in turn is working in EVM blockchain. What I mean by that is what I want to do in my project is kind of having imagine universities providing diplomas to students. So it will be like an NFT that won't be transferable, so like a SBT token. And in order to do that, I need to know if I just need to deploy a master contract and then have a function like a mint function that I can provide the receiver, and just each time I want the university to mint a diploma, just call this function. Is it going to work like that, or is it more specific to TON blockchain? Do I have to create a new instance of the contract for each new student?
Yeah, so basically you will definitely have the master contract that is minting it. So in TON there's a few examples of jetons like this, and any jetons like fungible, non-fungible, semi-fungible, soul-bound, we treat them as a master and client wallet. So basically you would have one contract that is minting it for all the people, and then you would have wallet contracts that are actually deployed by this master contract. So you would not have to have master for each student. No, you would actually we can actually, I will share my screen. I can give me a second. I can go through the code of the SBT that you can find on GetGems GitHub. So 1 second, I'm gonna share my screen. So let me know, guys, if you see the screen.
Yes.
Awesome. So basically, this is the link to the repository of GetGems, where they have all their contracts. I think GetGems NFT contracts. Yes. So we go to packages, contracts, and here we can see SBT iTeam. Okay, this is iTeam and it's not even contract. Wait.
Mark, please, can you send the link on the discussion or something?
Sure.
Thanks.
I'm going to send it here in the chat.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, sent. So basically, you can find here a lot of NFT contract examples, and one of them is here. SBT single, SBT item. Not sure. Oh, so basically, SBT item could be used together with NFT collection. So SBT item is just a wallet code. So in NFT collection, here in NFT collection, you would have the NFT item code. You see? So basically, you would have to. Oh, sorry, I will duplicate this. And if you see the collection code, oh, this is collection code, and here I want to open the SBT item. So basically, this is the code of the iTeam, and you would actually compile the SBT iTeam code. You would pack it into the cell, and you would save it here. So this is kind of like the only difference between SBT collection and normal collection is the wallet code. And we can now see what is different. So this is the SBT item. But does it make sense so far, Rafael?
Yes.
Okay. So if you want if, for example, you want just to create an SBT collection, right? You would then mint a simple NFT collection, but here in the code, you would have the SBT item code. And I can share with you one example that we did of SBT King TON. And in this code, we have NFT collection. We took this one just from the Get Gems.
Mm-hmm.
But when we were actually forming it, I will show you how. So let me get back. Woody mint item, I think. No, deploy collection. Yeah. So deploy collection. So we were actually doing collection code. Yeah, so this is just a collection code. This is the initial data. I'm trying to find, here, item code.
Okay. And what's the format of this item code?
So basically, I can send you this link, and you can see how we are preparing it, but I will show you now as well. So this is another link that I want to share. Oh, we got more people. I want to welcome you guys. So we got Tralkan and I think Ahmed. So welcome to the lesson. So basically, we are having this source thing. So this is the base 64 code. Like after you compile it, you would want to get this base 64 code. But here, like bag of cells, and here we just store it in hard coded. Mm-hmm. And then what you do is you actually create a cell out of it. So you are calling a cell entity, cell type. You create cell from BOC, and then you read from this line. So basically, there is multiple ways to create a cell, but that's important to know, like from the theory side, that code is stored in cells. So basically, you have. It doesn't mean what you have, what kind of data you have. You have to create a cell and put it inside. So basically, when you compile the contract, you are able to get the BOC line, and you can do like buffer from this BOC with the base 64 format, and you actually form a cell. So you are storing it in a cell when you do the initial states. Let me duplicate this. You can actually use this code just to try to deploy the SBT collection. So let me see. No, not here. So build NFT collection data cell. So first you create data cell, then you save an address. You see owner address. If we look into the NFT collection here, the first one is the owner address. And then you do data cell, you write the next item index. You see, next item index.
Yeah.
And then you have the content cell. This is the content. It's for metadata.
All right.
And then you see the NFT item code. So this is all related to content cell. So you first you form it and then you push it. And then here you actually put the NFT item code. So that's how you actually put the, not just regular NFT item, but you put the SBT item that we compiled before. So this is just on the a bit of just a bit of an overview how it usually works. You would just have to compile it and put the code. So once you create a mint, you actually deploy this code with a new data on something.
Okay, it's clear. Okay, thank you for the example.
No, it's okay. Anybody else had ever like maybe wondered how the NFTs work? Does it make sense for you? Vladimir or Tamer, who is the first?
I want to ask a question about my code.
Okay, so we switch to another topic. Okay, sure. Let's do it. Thank you, Rafael. Yeah.
Okay, I try to show. Here I have a simple picture. What I want to do. Here, in my contracts, every users will create. Every users in contracts has a main contract one, and one of the main contracts will create a lot of DL contracts. So what I want to do. I want when user deploy main contract and send TON coins on this contract, main contract will transfer this TON to DL1, for example, and deploy many contracts of DL. And I think what I did it, but I have one trouble. This is my smart contract. Here in the right side is main contract, history keeper, and this contract will create contract deal.
Okay.
And how I do it? First of all, here I calculate state init for deal contract. This is state of deal contract. Here we see ID, owner address, history keeper, and address of buyer. Here I calculate it, and it works. And but when I try to load this data by this method, I don't get any data. So let me show you in a test. Here my main contract. I send deploy. After this is before all. After that, I can calculate deal code. I can see balance of this deal, and it's work. But when I try to get any data, it doesn't work. I can show you my test. Yeah. So this balance of deal contract, this address of deal contract, but my state of deal contract is empty. And I don't understand why, because I try to log this state in FunC code. And here, one moment, here I can see that initial state. This is initial state in FunC. This,
okay.
But here I don't understand why I didn't get it.
Yeah, so basically, how you're using Sandbox, right? So it's great, but I'm not sure how it works in Sandbox with double contracts. We're going to have a Q&A session with the Sandbox creator soon, sometime next week, and the guy who is creating the Sandbox, like actively, the main core dev, he's going to join us on this Q&A session. But what I can tell you now, how it used to be before with the previous version, it was called TON contract executor. So you were not testing the combination of contracts. So basically you are deploying the main contract and it is deploying another contract, and then you try to test this other contract that was deployed. But it's not working quite like this in the test environment. So what you would need to test is you first deploy the main contract, you trigger the deploy of the client contract, and you just check for the proper transactions that are going out, because you just need to check that the deployed transaction actually went out of this main contract. And then in the next test, you are creating the initial state of the client contract manually by, so basically you again, in TypeScript, you're forming the initial state of the client contract, and then you're running tests against it, and then it's supposed to work, because it's like you're basically testing two different contracts. And the statement I've heard of my good friend Dan Volkov, sorry, he said that two contracts that are properly tested locally, they're going to be interacting properly on chain. So basically, this would be your strategy, how you want to test them both, and then you would actually deploy them both and see how they work. I don't know if this makes sense.
Okay, so you think it's because of Sandbox doesn't work correct?
No, it's not like it doesn't work correct. I've heard from them that they actually are mastering the chain of transaction, where you would be able to test the contract that was just deployed by the message. But I never did it before like this, and all people I know, they are doing this like separate tests. So try this strategy. Try to run a test against the master contract, and it would succeed if the outgoing transaction is deployed and the message, like you can check the initial state of the you can basically check the data that was sent with this transaction, and you have to detect the initial state there. And then you would initialize the client contract with initial state manually and test the getter method. So this is the strategy that is used.
Okay, thank you.
But you got it, right? So it makes sense for you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm here to do that. Interesting project. I really want to hear about it more.
It's a P2P service. I was talking about previous pitch session. It's a project where you can buy or sell TON by cash to people around you. You can use Telegram geoposition to see people and find someone who near with you to want sell or buy TON coins. So now I try to make escrow contracts which can hold TON to make this deal safety.
Nice. Yeah, makes sense. Actually, I was thinking about some contract that would make it possible to kind of like swap NFTs based on the geolocation. So you, for example, you have some NFTs and you open the geolocation and you see someone is around, and you don't know the price of NFT, but you can see like the image or whatever, and then you just swap just because you are like geolocation based. And like I was just thinking that this would be also cool, something similar to yours.
Yeah, it sounds similar.
All right, so maybe someone else wants. I think let's go with Tamer. I think you were asking a question as well.
Yes, so hello everyone again. I want to ask maybe three questions, yeah? So I'm trying to make a bot, a chat bot on Telegram, and I want to ask, and I want first to know how to exactly connect the Ton wallet on that bot, and is there any API or a tool that helps you to execute functions from that bot to the Ton blockchain?
So you're doing Telegram bot, and you want to interact with contracts based on your Telegram bot, right?
Yes.
So, for example, you're triggering some comment from Telegram, and you want it. So, for example, you type in number, and you actually send the message, and you want this number to be sent into the contract, right?
Yes. Oh, actually, the project is actually I'm with Ale Shatur. We are on the same team, so we're trying to build a chatbot that helps you to create a decentralized autonomous organization through that bot. So simple commands and you get your your DAO. Okay. So my only problem here that I couldn't find some tool to connect the wallet to that DAO, to that bot.
Okay.
If you got
Okay.
some suggestions or something like that.
I don't think you need to connect the wallet to the bot, because you usually want to connect the wallet when I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to maybe draw a little bit for you. So this is a good question, actually. So, for example,
yeah, because you need to verify the signer of the transactions or something like that from that bot. So you need to connect the wallet, or I don't know.
So we have Telegram bot.
Yes.
And on another side, we have, let's say, we have a
Can't connect, or I don't know, maybe any wallet.
You don't need to use TON&Connect in these matters, I think. Like my as far as I see, yeah. So this is like your server, bot server, where you handle all the messages that are coming from server.
Yes.
So basically, here you would say create vote contract. That would be comment. You can do it in different ways. It can be button. It can be whatever.
I know.
But that's the thing, that you don't need to how to say it. And here, let's say one more thing. This one, wait. So this will be the contract, and this will be bot server.
Okay.
And this will be the contract. You can see my screen, right?
Yes, I can.
So this is contract. And so you started the conversation, like user started the conversation.
Yes.
And all you know at this point is the ID of the user. It's some ID. And username, whatever, but it's basically something that you know, your identifier for this user.
Okay.
And you ask him for some configurations. You ask him like how many votes, blah, blah, blah. I don't know, whatever. Metadata. Yeah. You can ask for photos, whatever. And then you click create vote contract. So what happens at this moment? This command is actually handled here in the bot server. And in this server code, you would form a cell. This cell would have initial state, and namely it would be code data. So one second. Yeah, this would be code and data. And when you click create vote contract, you would actually out of this initial state and data, you would form a deploy transaction.
Yeah.
You would form a deploy transaction. And this deploy transaction would just look like a URL. So URL, which so you just return this URL and you send it to the user into the into the chatbot, and user has to follow this URL. The TON hub or TON keeper will open, and he will deploy this contract. So you don't need to authorize this. You just need to prepare the transaction on your backend, and then you actually send this transaction by like sending him URL. It can be also like inline button, Telegram API inline buttons, inline keyboard. So it can be very, very nicely done, These keyboards, you can just redirect them to the wallet they want, and then you just send the message and your contract is deployed. I think this is very, and he's deploying, he will be redirected to TON hub. A TON hub will actually deploy the contract.
Okay. So I can, for example, here I can collect the informations about, for example, the DAO name, the councils, or I don't know, the purpose of the DAO, put it in JSON, or I don't know, any file type, then send it to the bot server. From the bot server, he will make that URL, then he connect to his, Okay. Super.
Sometimes it wouldn't be even JSON. You would ask him questions here, and you would handle these questions if each answer would be gotten on the bot. Yes. And then inside of this bot, you just save it to database. And then the most important part is that you are actually composing this cell. Cell is the most important part. And initial state, you compose the transaction, and then you send it back, and the user just sends this message. So it's that simple.
Yes, that's really helpful.
Yeah, man, I'm happy about that. Yeah. I really enjoyed to actually. It took me some time to figure out stuff like this. So I'm so happy that I can sometimes help you to understand the logic behind it, how to succeed with this. So if you guys are thankful, the best thing you can do for me, let me share with you. So the best thing you can do for me is being thankful, bring other guys. If you bring more developers, this is the best thing you can do for me. Don't worry, I'm trying to build a team. I get more guys, and we are going to have an awesome community where we actually talk about this all the time, asking questions, answering questions. And this is going to be the best place to get for answering questions like this.
Yeah, that's super cool. Thanks, man. That's really changed all the, everything, all the logic. Thanks, man. Thanks.
Mark, hi.
Hey, Chatur. Nice to meet
you. Thank you. I just have a question. Actually, it's about one of the sessions of the onboarding sessions.
Okay.
The third video, when Nark was explaining an example of smart contract.
Okay.
So what I understand is the storage is composed by 4 variables. I think the owner, which is slice, and the processing price, and the shares,
let me open
and
the
the
code.
seed.
Do you guys have the code to this contract? Because it is published on TON community. I can send you the link to the code.
Yeah, please. Can you send me the code, please?
Yes. It is... wait. Sure, I was sending it to someone. Simple distributor is called. I'm going to send it to the chat now. So what with random in TON? We can use it inside contracts without any oracles. Yes, there is random function. You can try using it. So I sent you the I sent you this link. If you maybe you can open this link and share your screen, and you can show me what you mean.
Okay, just 1 second. Contract. Okay. So, okay. So can you see my screen?
Yes.
Great. So I think it's this distributor. Yes, here. This one. Okay. What I meant is the storage is composed by 4 variables: the owner, the processing price, shards, and seed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. So when he wants to update data, he called the function set data, where he implement the message body, and he load the reference, or I don't know what. So which of the variables will be changed?
All of them, because
All of them.
he's passing a cell.
Okay.
He's basically passing the cell. So well, because load ref, it's load ref is actually loading the reference to a cell. So he would be yes. Wait, he would do set data. Can you show me the set data function?
Yeah, this one.
Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, so he doesn't have, so he basically just setting, he would expect to have all these 4 variables in a cell that he sends in the message body.
Yeah.
Someone has a very loud cat.
Yeah.
Is this
I'm
a cat?
sorry.
It's
Yeah,
okay. It's okay. No worries. I'm just kidding. I love cats. So he basically, he's sending this he's sending a inside of the message body, he's sending first the op comment, and then it's the entire 4 variables. And that's why, no, it's not. It's actually, first it is op comment,
he knows the
and then
operation here.
reference to a cell. Yeah.
He's fixing the operation, and then if it's an update data operation, he will do this line of code.
Yeah, you know how you can check it? You can check it very easily. Can you go to, wait, let me share my screen now. If you can stop sharing and let me share my screen.
Yeah. So there is a possibility to change one variable, or always we change all the variables?
Of course, there is possibility. You can create a different operation commands for each of the variables. It is very easy. So, but I can show you how you form in these messages. So basically, should distribute coins according to shares. We should find the test, should handle data update. So you see here we have send update data. We are going to wrappers. 1 step back, wrappers, distributor, and here's function send here, send update data. So you see bodies operation code. So he's putting this into the cell, and then he's storing ref with a new data. But what is new data? He's passing this new data actually here. You see, he's expecting new data to be a cell. So if we now go back into the test, I hope so. If you now go back into the test, so send update data, yeah, and he's just passing empty cell. So he just wants it to work. Okay, wait, should handle data update, and now he will actually pass something. I hope. No, again, he's sending empty cell.
Empty cells, yes.
Yeah, so basically he's not sending anything there, which is so funny. No. Actually, yeah, because look, because he's initiating this contract already with owner, with processing price, with seed, with shares, and here he just wants to be sure that operational command doesn't fail. That's it.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Basically, it's like we could pass here some data and then write tests that would actually run get data method and compare the data, like so the data would be updated, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I got
But
it.
you can create a different here in the contract. You can create a different operation command for each of the variables, just like this.
Okay.
Yeah. So you would create like update something, and that's it. Yeah. Yeah, you can say.
So what I want to ask is my main question is how we can change one variable. Okay, so that's what I didn't know.
But do you understand now how you can change one variable?
Yeah. It's
You
okay.
usually do it like set data would be a separate function, like here. I think I should show you an example.
So if there is an example of a simple DAO or something
No,
like that.
not a DAO. I don't have any examples of simple DAO, but here I can show you a contract. Let me send you the. This is Siperja is my friend, and he was actually writing this code on one of the hackathons.
Right.
So he basically, yeah. Let me open the contract. So he's basically having two different functions. One is storage, and one is storage save, one is storage load.
Okay.
So you would basically need to load, because in TON you cannot just change one variable in the storage. You would have to read everything, and then you would have to replace the desired variable with a new value, and then you would have to write everything, because you basically, once you read it, once you write it back, you will destroy the other cell, the previous cell. You'll just put the cell with a new value there. So this means that you would have to write a function that would be store one variable. I don't know, maybe I should show you like a pseudocode, how it would look like. So it would be like, so let's say int opera message, whatever. It's not, don't think about the syntax. I just want to write a pseudocode. And then, so if opera is equal to 1, then you would do something. But here, there would be like function load data. Then there will be like, no, not the function, but just like this. Load data. It would return something. Let's say it would return all the ints. Int. And then you would create a function save data. Wait. Yeah, it would actually accept number. int. Yeah, it would be something like this. And yeah, so basically in the
We'll create a cell then.
yeah, so basically if you just want to change one, if you just want to
Okay.
change one variable, here you would have to create like you would have to create let's say something like this. And then you would have to run save data. Just again, it's not a syntax. It's just let's say don't look at the syntax. I don't want to think now about the syntax. I just want to show you the logic. Okay.
Okay.
You would have to, if you want to change just one variable, you would have to
Yeah.
read all of them and then change one, but
Change it.
save all of
Okay.
them.
Okay.
So this is the
Okay.
logic.
Okay. I got it.
So I hope it
Thank
makes
you.
sense for you. Does it help you?
Yeah.
So you
Yeah,
know
yeah.
what to do?
Yeah, yeah. It's more clear now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So, by the way, we're going to present our project next week, me and Thamer.
Yes.
Nice. On the pitch
So,
session?
yeah.
Nice. Guys, like I said, the best way to thank me for helping you is bring more
Okay.
people. Write in chats, tell them that we actually do some good stuff here. We actually help. So this would be very helpful from your side.
Yeah, I actually send an invitation link to each one like every week for the pitch session and for the developer sessions.
Tamer, you're my hero. Thank you so much.
Thanks, man.
Thank you so much, Mark.
So do we have anybody else who wants to ask questions? Rafael, is it you raising hand now or it's still raised since then?
It's a new hand.
Oh, nice. Okay, go for it.
Okay, so it's more a question about the structure. In our project, we wanted, like Vladimir in his project, to use one of our key core feature is also based on the localization.
Okay.
And what I'm not sure is, because we have tutorials to build contracts on TON, to build Telegram web apps, and to build bots, and so we can make an app with all this. But how can we interact with a core Telegram function like localization? Because I don't know if we can do it, and if we can, where to find the documentation, because it's really something like, I feel like it's something apart from what we are doing, and I'm not sure we can do it actually.
Let me answer first thing that because I was working with localization on Telegram bots, and if that's what you're asking. So basically, when you receive the message like start, so when someone is starting the message, texting with you, you're going to receive an object. Let me look into documentation. But anyways, you will receive a locale. Wait, I will look into documentation. Telegram bot API, because I think they're supposed to tell us basically when the user starts chat with your bot, it will let the bot know what is the language of the user. So if you have your Telegram in English, it will say English. If you have your Telegram in Spanish, it will say Spanish. So basically, your backend will know exactly what is the language of the user when the first message is sent.
Okay.
So I don't know. Does it help you? Because maybe I didn't understand the question.
Oh no, I was not talking about when I said localization, I was not talking about the language. Sorry. I mean the geolocalization, the position.
Geolocalization. Oh, okay.
So Basically, to resume, our idea was to find people nearby you that has the same collection of your NFT. Like you own an NFT of one collection, and then you activate this function on Telegram, and you see if nearby you there is someone that has an NFT like this.
So there is I don't know if you read this part of documentation, live geolocation. So Telegram allows sending the live geolocation of a user in the chat, optional setting a proximity alert. So basically, user is receiving live locations. So basically, you will get a geopoint. So user will send you live geolocation, and you're able to track it. So that's the logic. I don't know if this makes sense. I can send this into the chat.
Yeah, it makes sense. I understand. I'm just not sure if it's fitting our needs. I was more thinking of a group. Basically, yeah, like a group. The current option in the Telegram app, you can use the geo position, and then you can see groups in your area. And we wanted to have a group like this, but okay.
Look, it's not. So let's say one user wants to. Let's say one user wants to sell whatever for tons, and this user is actually this user starts to share his geolocation, and then you can create a web app that is showing how far. Oh, well, Monday. Hope you're doing well. Something is going on there. So basically, if I understood correctly, you want to track geolocation of all the users. Let's say you have 10 users. You want to all the 10 users send you live geolocation to your bot, and you can create a web app that is actually showing how far is every of users from the user who opens the Telegram web app. So, but first, let's say if you know the live geolocation of all 10 users, you can easily build this kind of dashboard, which would be custom for each of the users. But first, you need to ask all of them somehow to send you geolocation. Maybe all of them who want to trade, you would require them before the trade is live. You would require them to send live geolocation, and then you would create some kind of interface that would show like the distance between them, because the distance you can count on background, because you have two live geolocations, you calculate the distance all the time, and you update the interface. So I think this would make the most sense.
Okay, I'll see what can I do with it. But thank you. And just a last point regarding Tamer question when he was speaking to you. He was mentioning TON&Co, and I think I've heard in some other session that one of the requirements for the hackathon was to use TON&Co.
It's not a requirement. It's just I think the thing with TON&Co is TON&Co recently released the new version, and now it is actually working seamlessly with all the wallets. So basically, what they meant is that you should not use single wallet API for authorizing. You should use the TON&Co 2.0 that is covering all the wallets. So this is basically the idea behind this requirement, I think. But you don't have to use TON&Co. So, for example, in the I think I don't remember Chatur or Tamer when we were talking about chatbot, you don't need to use it, because basically TON&Co is more for web. It's more about sessions. In Telegram bot, you have different kinds of session dynamic, You don't have a session of the chat. On the website, you do have a session of the user. So it's basically.
But we are thinking about making a bot and Telegram web app. So when we are using to the Telegram web app, we should use Telegram Connect. Yeah.
No, it's like I just think that you don't need it because you have a different dynamic. So you have a backend, and I just think that you would rather use without Tone Connect, you would sign transactions of deploy, because otherwise you would have two different authorizations. So every time you close the TVA, it would actually, I'm not sure, maybe it wouldn't kill the session, but you could use Tone Connect, of course, in the web part of the TVA. But if you don't use TVA in the chat, it's also possible. So I'm just not sure if that helps. Guys, let's ask Ahmed for his questions, and this is going to be the last question for today. Are we going to
hello. I have escrow contract, and I created the. Let me share. I have created the contract and compiled it. This is the hex code. My question is, how can I use this hex code in a application? So without compiling it again, like changing this into a cell as a code. And I'm trying to create this application, but I'm having this error because of the. Actually, I'm trying to compile in the TypeScript, and it's giving error.
You don't need to compile it again. As you remember, I was showing you the SBT Kingiton, where we actually just wait a second. I'm going to share my screen now. And it's good that I already shared you the Kingiton collection. So basically, you see here, you have this hexadecimal base 64 line, and you would just create a cell. So you would pack it into a cell. You could have this code on your front end. So let's say you have some logic on front end that would deploy a contract. And this is your contract code. And you would pack it into a cell. You would create an initial state of the contract transaction. 1 second. So here, so here you would just create the initial code, initial data. This is how you calculate the address. Then you create initial cell. You do state it. And here you put the collection code. You have to first put it into the cell. Then you create a state in it. So basically on your front end knows nothing about compilation, right? Your front end just has a hard-coded line that you actually, but you can use this TypeScript in your front end code, whatever. So you basically just do, use your line into the code. Let's say you use your line of code, like bag of cells, representation, whatever. You actually just use it to generate state in it and generate transaction. And then you just create a link like this. So I can send this particular link into the chat, and this will be the best help for you, I think.
Yes, totally. Thank you.
Okay, so Vladimir wants to ask one more last questions. Okay, yeah. Sunday is asking about recording. Sunday, the recording is going to be probably tomorrow. I hope tomorrow our guys will prepare the recording and publish it. Okay, one last question, and we will have to say bye for today.
Yes, thank you, Mark. Can you show us examples where we should use query ID? Because I don't understand use cases if we already have operation number in messages, and I don't understand where we can use query ID in these messages.
So query ID is not for first. It's not for local testing. There is no use case for that. I don't have example right now. It's usually used for you for the chain of transactions. So, for example, you have 3 contracts. You have master of the jeton, for example. You have client of jeton, and you have you have another client of the jeton. So the code, you're able to see that the query ID. I can actually have example for you. I always have. If you guys like it, bring more people. This is my currency. I only accept in people. Bring more people on the streams. Jeton. Wait. GitHub. Jeton. I have it somewhere. Token contract. Yeah, exactly. That's what I want to see. So let's look into the. No. It's not the thing. Yeah, no, we can actually try to do it. So we have a collection. Wait. Yeah, fun. Let's go back to the get gems. I think they do have the same NFT contracts. No. Okay. No, this is NFT. I'm not sure they have it on Mint, but let's see. Packages, contracts, NFT collection, sources. So let's see NFT collection, and let's see the Mint command. So receive internal. Operation deploy new NFT. So deploy new NFT, it's basically a Mint. Yeah, they actually don't have this. Actually, they don't have it here in the example. Okay, let me get back to this. It's a fungible token. Jeton minter. So mint tokens. So master message amount. Where he's reading query ID. So well, I don't see him here passing the query ID farther, but usually you would actually pass the query ID farther. So basically, you would, if you were asking the contract to mint something, you would put a operation code of mint, and then you would put the query ID. But I think it should. Jeton amount. Yeah, somehow I don't know why they don't do this here. So this is burn notification, for example. You see, they put query ID here. Sorry. Yeah, not the best example. Sorry. But basically, you put the query ID to understand that this is one chain of transactions. This is for you to actually, when you try to debug the chain of transactions. So, for example, you minted something, and you want to. So, for example, you minted something, but you can see, let's say, internal transfers on the wallet, and you want to understand by which of the transactions it was caused. So you usually put the query ID as a random number. So query ID is usually a random number. So you could understand that you triggered some transaction here with a random number, then you pass it to the next message. And then, for example, when it's chain of messages, you can understand that all these 3 transactions are from the one trigger, This is basically the only way to understand this chain of transactions. But sorry, I think maybe, I don't know how to come up with a fake example, like just for education purposes, but this logic, look, you don't have to do this. You don't have to do this, and if you don't do it, no one will.
I understand. And so how I understood, query ID is something that we that help us to debug, first of all, and that and query ID help us for out of chain, right? If we work with client and we can see kind of transactions which we send it.
Well,
right?
yeah, sometimes you can debug it with like this. You can, for example, if you're waiting, so for example, you start a chain of transactions, and then on the destination, you're waiting for a certain transaction with certain query ID. This can help for this debugging, because this could be a random number that is representing your chain of transactions. So
it's more for notifications.
no notification. It's like a marker. It's like a marker that you put on one transaction, and all the rest of the transactions will have the same marker. And in case you actually coded it properly, that you're passing it to every next transaction, you know.
Okay, thank you.
All right, guys, we'll have to end up here. So it was very nice hour. I really enjoyed to answer your questions. I wanted to ask if it's just for future. Is it fine if we move this session, for example, like 2 hours earlier? Would it be fine, or how does it look for you?
You mean 2 hours earlier in the day?
Yeah. So if for like in the Central European time, we started like 7 p.m. and we would start at 5 p.m.
That's
For me,
okay for
yes.
me.
It's okay.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
it's okay for me. Yeah.
But you should add more than 1 hour.
Also.
Add what?
More than 1 hour. That's
So
not enough.
I will rather do more sessions. So what I plan to do is to move it to 5 p.m. and make like 3 weekly sessions. So it would be maybe 3 different people, but there will be three weekly sessions. That's what I'm planning to do, and that's why I'm asking about this time.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
We need
more
more
time.
time.
I wish you a very good evening. I will ask my guys to prepare the recording for tomorrow. Maybe, hopefully tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow is Friday. So have a good evening and see you soon.